Hi folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, body, spirit, fitness. Put in the healing back in health. Once again, when you're at the website, sign up for the free newsletter. Check out the free downloads, setting goals, fitness and nutrition. Don't forget to follow on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. All those links are down below in description land for you. Coming at you today with a video on why the Catholic Church approves of democracy, likes democracy, even though I think, if I remember correctly, they call it or consider it more of the free market. So why do they support it, I guess you could say? And they support it, why? Because it gives man the ability to create something, right? To work for yourself, to be an entrepreneur. And we must understand that man was made for work, right? First of all, we've got to understand that man was made to work. But why do they like it, right? What happens when you have that entrepreneurial spirit, right? Not only now are you're able to create jobs, you have more independence for yourself to be able to do other things, right? If you can create a successful business, now you don't really have to be around to be making money, right? That's the beauty of owning your own business. You're working less, which gives you the opportunity to create more. So not only does it give you an opportunity to support your family, to support others, to support the cause, the kingdom on earth, right? You're creating jobs and helping others who might not have those talents of creating their own. You're able to find positions, create jobs for people with talents to help further it. You have your own free time. And of course, that's a blessing in itself, right? What it also likes, and it considers good to a certain extent, like I think anybody will, is profit. Profit is good, right? Profit is good because, once again, that's bringing in money. Now, of course, we all know we can fall victim to greed, and greed can lead us down that wrong path. But having money is not a bad thing. Right? Why would anybody want to be Christian if all it was is you need to be poor and give everything away? I've made a video on that. What did Jesus mean when he said, give everything that you have, leave everything and follow, right? Now we've got to understand the context of the verse of the story, right? That was after the man already came up to Jesus and said, what do I have to do to inherit the kingdom? He said, well, honor your mother and father, love your neighbor as yourself, all these things. I started kind of quoting off the 10 Commandments. I've done all these since a child. Well, leave everything, give everything up and follow me, right? So this man was already pretty much telling Jesus, I've done all that. I followed the 10 Commandments. I am perfect, right? And he says, well, hey, if you're a perfect man, the only thing you have left to do is follow me. Leave it all, right? Not leave it all because it's bad and it's going to prevent you from the kingdom of heaven. But now you've pretty much blatantly told me a lie and said that you are perfect. So if you want to be perfect, if you want to be godly, if you want to be God, you have to follow me and heed my instruction, right? So profit is good. Excess profit is good. Lots of profit is good, right? Why is lots of profit good? Why? Because now that means there is a demand in that area, right? If there is one large landscaping company that is making $100 billion a year, that's great. That means a lot of people need landscaping, right? Now, if you've worked for that guy, I made a video on why you don't really need to go to college, right? It depends on your profession and what you want to do. But if all you want to do is open a landscaping company, you just have to know how to manage money, which you can just buy some books on how to manage money and then work, learn how to do it, just get into the business, learn how to do it, buy some equipment, go out, get some jobs and do it yourself. Do you really need to go to college for that? No, not really. You don't need to go to college to save up $20,000, $30,000 to buy equipment to go out and do a job that you already know how to do, right? So great profit is good. Why? Because there is a supply and demand, right? People are demanding the work. It's your job to supply it. So go out and create your own business. Right? That's why we like excess profit. It's showing us where there is a service needed. If somebody is making a bunch of money in, like I just said, landscaping, house building, personal training, writing books, self-help, if they are making good money, that means a lot of people need it, and it's time for someone else to step up into the game and provide it. So that's why it likes democracy. That's why it likes the free market. That's why the Catholic Church believes that profit is good, because it's letting you know where the world needs help and what the world sees value in. And now it's your job to figure out how you can create value in that market. And last but not least, what about restrictions, right? The church does believe to a certain extent that there needs to be restrictions. And I think it holds true, but there can't be too much, right? It's kind of like that concept of when you are telling your children, right, you can't date that person, you can't do this, you can't do that. Majority of the time, they're going to go out and do it. It's that same concept of giving the person the benefit of the doubt. Being able to see Christ in every person that you encounter. Always expecting good until negativity and harm is done to you. Does that make sense, right? So the unfortunate thing is we see and we say, hey, well, they're making a lot of money. They must be doing something wrong. We need to create regulations. That's what, in my opinion, what the government's kind of doing, right? Oh, they're doing good. They must be doing something wrong. We need to set more regulations because something's going on. Well, no, in reality, they might just be a really good company that provides very great services and they are reaping the benefits. So the only time the church sees where regulations need to be taken care of and seen is if the people are being suppressed. The people that are trying to become the entrepreneurs. They can't get the loans. They're not being educated properly. Any circumstance that is preventing that is not creating a level playing field, that's when the church thinks regulation needs to take place. When you are suppressing the people from being able to do those things, right? That's when there's a problem. But, hey, education is free as well. You can go to any library and there are hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of books where you can learn, right? And when it comes to money, hey, don't get me wrong. Some of these employers out there might not be paying what they should. But once again, it's also about sacrifice, right? I've mentioned in plenty of videos, how are you spending the money? How are you spending the blessings that you've been given of finances? If you're out drinking every night, buying, if you have 500 pairs of shoes, 300 shirts, you're drinking every night, you're going out to eat every night, it's not that you need more money, it's you need to use the money that you've been given properly. Save up that money, take that next step, right? When it comes to getting a loan, you need to have good credit. So if you have bad credit, it's not the man's holding you down. You're not fulfilling your obligation of paying your bills on time. And it's going to affect your credit score, which in turn is going to affect you being able to get a loan in the future. And I think this is what happens with the government when we start to overregulate, especially here in America. It can happen. Now, once again, I'm not, a professional on regulations and the way the government handles their business. But once again, I think, one of the downfalls, of Obamacare was that they created these insurance programs that not only were expensive, but I guess maybe the way the language was written and the way companies can accept Obamacare, it puts small mom and pop, I don't even know what they would call them, physicians out of work because they couldn't comply to these regulations. When you start to create so much regulation that now you need to hire somebody at $50,000 a year to be able to look into this stuff and make sure you're doing it properly, that's cutting out of your profit. It's like I tell people when I personal train. It's like, hey, how much is it an hour? $60 an hour. Well, geez, that's kind of expensive. Well, I've got to buy insurance. I've got to get my certifications. I've got to renew my certifications. I have to pay the person to use his facility. If you have your own facility, you've got to pay rent. You've got to pay equipment. You've got to pay electricity. If I wanted to be a personal trainer making $16 an hour, well, then I would just go work for a gym, right? If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't spend the money on advertising and all these other things and spending my time making YouTube videos and trying to help people and do what I do, right? If I wanted to just make 20 bucks an hour, I'd go work at a gym. There's no reason for me to venture off on my own. No, I venture off on my own because I want to be making more than I make at the gym, right? So unfortunately, that still means I'm going to have to charge just as much as the gym, if not a little bit more. But you've got to understand that you're helping me and the money's going directly to me, and you should trust that me being a man of trying to improve myself in life, am going to use the blessings that I've been given in a way that's going to help society. And I'm not saying that these large corporations and things don't, but you've got to understand that even if you're paying $60, $70, $80 an hour for your personal training session at a gym, your trainer's seeing a fraction of that, right? So, once again, there you go. I hope this helps. Why the Catholic Church agrees with free market, democracy, whatever you want to call it. What they think about regulating this free market, and the beauty of profit, and how it is a good thing, and it's not a bad thing. So, once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Those links are in description land down below. Don't forget to share all this information on your social media networks. Subscribe to the channel. Once again, I apologize for the lighting. When I turn this light on, I get this weird glow on my face. I tried to open this. That weird glow is at least not down here. Half my face is kind of blacked out. I apologize. You know, it just is what it is. But hey, you're here to listen, not really to see this ugly mug, even though this beard is pretty spectacular right now. Just kidding. But hey, once again, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, share and like these videos.